Hi everyone. I'm going to read from inside my house today because it's foggy and cold outside. I've been reading to you from my backyard, but it's kind of cold out today, so I think I'm going to sit in my living room and read. And I'm going to start with a story called Sweet Dream Pie. And this is a really fun, imaginative book. And I'm going to give you a little activity that you might want to do after I read the story. Okay? Here we go. Sweet Dream Pie by Audrey Wood and Mark Teague. It was almost dawn on Willoughby Street when Pa Brindle lit the lantern and led Ma Brindle up to their dark attic to an old trunk draped in cobwebs. I haven't slept a wink tonight, Pa said. I've been craving a piece of sweet dream pie, just like the one you made me so long ago. The last time I made that pie, you ate too much, Ma grumbled, and your dreams weren't sweet. Pa Brindle blew the cobwebs off the trunk, then threw it open, and all the cats in the neighborhood opened one eye. An enormous mixing bowl, a great rolling pin, a gigantic pie pan, and a small brass bell glistened in the lantern light. I'll be good this time, Pa promised. One big piece of sweet dream pie, that's all I want. Well then, I'll make it and you help, Ma agreed. But if things get out of hand, don't blame me. The Brindles carried the extra-large utensils down to the kitchen and began to make the pie. When the dough was ready, Ma rolled it out on the table, and when she did, all the people on Willoughby Street, including little Amy McPherson, rolled out of their beds and onto their floors. Next, Ma fashioned two great pie crusts. Then the Brindles began to toss every sweet thing they could find into the enormous mixing bowl. Gumdrops flew through the air and rained down with marshmallows, candy corn, cinnamon hots, chewing gum, chocolate drops, butterscotch, licorice sticks, lollipops, sugar cubes, jelly beans, candy sprinkles, cookies, and more. I don't know if you can see that. It's a giant bowl, and Pa and Ma Brindle are throwing in every kind of candy they can find. Clouds of powdered sugar drifted out the windows into the street. A chocolate tornado sprang up and swirled out the door, knocking Johnny Lunds, who was trying to deliver newspapers, off his bicycle. Smell wafting, and here's Johnny Lunds falling off of his bicycle. The enormous mixing bowl began to glow. A thick, sweet syrup bubbled up and oozed down the sides. The Brindles poured the filling into the giant pie pan, then wrestled the top crust into place. Ma crimped the edges, and Pa poked the steam holes. The crust began to move as if things were trying to get out. Pa shoved the pie into the oven and slammed the door. Quickly he turned the oven dial past bake, broil, and roast to a setting that simply said special. As the sun rose, the oven warmed and a heat wave hit Willoughby Street. It was too hot to go to work or school, so everyone stayed home doing cool things. Even Mary Chubb, who had never missed a day at the library in 15 years, lounged beneath her sunflower. By noon, the delicious smell of Ma Brindle's sweet dream pie blanketed the neighborhood with a blissful aroma. Everyone was simply drooling to taste that pie. Even baby Robbie stuck out his tongue, thinking he could lick the sweetness from the air. The heat wave raged on into the afternoon. It was so hot, all the air conditioners stopped working. No one was cool except for Perry Arbuckle, who filled the tub in his conservatory with ice cubes and sat in it. Let's see, where's one of these has Perry Arbuckle in it, and there's somebody in a wading pool. And where? I can't see it now. Oh, there's Perry Arbuckle in his tub of ice. As the sun set, the sweet dream pie browned and the sky burned a fiery red above Willoughby Street. It was too hot to eat much, so everyone just picked at dinner and thought about the pie cooking in Ma's kitchen. That evening, all the neighbors found an excuse to stop by the Brindles' house. Pa set up tables and colored lights outside and invited everyone to stay and share his special dessert. They were all thrilled, except little Amy McPherson. Amy could eat no pie because it made her sneeze. The dogs jumped up and began to chase their tails. Ma Brindle rang the small brass bell. "It's time for sweet dream pie," she called. Pa Brindle and Johnny Lunds carried the pie out and set it down. There's all the people and the colored lights, and they're all coming for the pie. Steam rose from the pie, and a thick fog settled over the neighborhood. Standing side by side, the Brindles blew upon the pie to cool it. A welcome breeze sprang up, whirling napkins and party plates into the air and clearing the fog. For the first time in 13 hours, Willoughby Street cooled down. Ma cut the pie as the neighbors lined up. "Now be careful," she warned. "This pie is very rich. One piece is all you need." No one had ever tasted anything like Ma Brindle's sweet dream pie. It was so sweet, happy tears just rolled down everyone's cheeks. "Don't eat too much," Ma kept saying. "Only one piece or you'll be sorry." But no one listened. They all helped themselves to sweet thirds and fourths. Pa Brindle broke his promise. He gobbled down sweet sixths and even sevenths. Poor Inky King ate so much he looked as if he'd swallowed a bowling ball. Here's everybody eating that pie. When Myrtle Murphy's parrot pecked up the last crumb, a hush fell upon Willoughby Street. The neighbors thanked Ma and Pa for sharing their wonderful pie. Suddenly all they wanted to do was go home and snuggle in their cozy beds. Some made it, and others dozed off along the way. Ma Brindle shook her head in dismay. "After all that sweetness," she said, "no one will rest well tonight." Then she went inside to get her broom. That's when the dreaming began. Pa Brindle's dream was the first to pop out. Bigger than a dump truck, it galloped through the neighborhood, whistling for the others to follow. Dreams of every shape, size, and color drifted up from their dreamers and began to sport and play. All of the dreamers on Willoughby Street tossed and turned in their restless sleep. That's Pa Brindle's big dream. And look at all the other. Some of them look like fish, some of them look like snails, but these are all their dreams. Ma Brindle had never seen so many wild dreams. They were everywhere and into everything. The dreams were too happy and too excited doing things they shouldn't do. When enough was enough, Ma took up her broom and began to sweep, sweep, sweep until she had swept every last dream from Willoughby Street. All of the dreamers, including Pa Brindle, sighed with relief and finally settled in for a good night's sleep. Here's Ma Brindle down in the corner with her broom, sweeping away all of these crazy dreams. From her bedroom window, little Amy McPherson watched it all, and for once in her life, she was glad she could eat no pie. And that's the end. So here's my idea. I know I've been giving you guys lots of ideas of things to draw, and I'm thinking I sent home with you all your grad journals, so you could use those. You could draw, if you do any of these drawing activities, you could just do them in there, and then at some point I'll get to see them. I really would love to. So my idea for a drawing project for this book would be that you draw a picture of your own sweet dream pie and maybe write down the recipe. What would you put in that pie to make it, I don't know, super delicious and something that would make people really dream? What kind of things would go in it? So maybe draw a picture and write a recipe of the pie. And then if you wanted to do a little more, you could draw some of the wild and crazy dreams that come out when people eat sweet dream pie, especially when they eat your sweet dream pie. So have fun, and I'll see you later. Bye.